Alright, let me show you my quick beef stir fry. So I have here 2 tablespoons of garlic that I'm going to go ahead and put into a bowl to start my marinade. And then I'm going to add in a half a teaspoon of ground ginger. I didn't have fresh, so I'm just using the ground ginger that you can find in the baking aisle. And then I'm going to use a half a cup of orange pineapple juice here. Throw that into the bowl. And then I'm going to also throw in a half a cup of water. Now I'm using 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar. Gonna throw that into the bowl. And now I'm gonna go ahead and add in 1/4 of a cup of soy sauce. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in 3 tablespoons of some rice vinegar. This one has sesame seeds in it. I like this brand. It's pretty good. And then a couple dashes of sesame oil. This stuff does go a long way. You do want to use a little bit. And then you're going to go ahead and just give that marinade a good mix. And you're going to get ready to throw your beef into the marinade. It's best to let it sit for at least an hour. If you can let it sit longer, that's even better. I'm going to use my Instapot to do this pretty quickly. It only takes about 15 minutes in the Instapot, and it comes together really fast. Now that I have my marinade all set, I'm going to go ahead and add in my stir-fry beef. I usually pick up my stir-fry beef from Walmart, but you can find it from any major grocery store. You just want some thin sliced beef to use for the stir-fry. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a good toss and just get it all mixed and combined. And then I'm going to go ahead and cover it and let it sit for at least an hour. I did let it sit for at least 2.5 hours that day. The longer, the better. You're also going to reserve this marinade, so do not throw it away after you take your meat out. So now I'm chopping up my vegetables for my stir fry. So I have some yellow onions here I'm going to slice up, and then I'm going to use my orange bell pepper as well. You can use whatever vegetables you like. I would pick a heartier vegetable just so it doesn't cook too fast in the Instapot if you're using the Instapot. But if you're using a frying pan or a wok, you can pick whatever you like. Broccoli would be really good with this as well. So I'm going to use the saute function on my Instapot first. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in the stir-fry beef. Going to go ahead and throw that all in there, and you want to get a nice brown sear on all the meat. You don't have to use an Instapot. I just decided to use it this night. You can also do this in a wok if you have it, or even on the stove with a frying pan. It's whatever you have on hand. It doesn't have to be the Instapot. I just made it in this that night just to make it easier for dinner to be done quicker with after school pickup and then, karate and all that. Sometimes it's just so much easier to put it in the Instapot, set it, forget it. So here I am chopping up my orange bell peppers for the stir fry. So I have the meat searing now, and then I'm going to go ahead and get those vegetables ready to throw in there when I put the sauce back in with the meat. You can definitely add whatever vegetables you like too. It's whatever you like and whatever you have on hand, but that's what I had that night. So I took the reserved marinade here, and I'm going to go ahead and add in 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. I'm going to give that a nice whisk just to make sure that there's no lumps in the marinade. Get the cornstarch dissolved into the marinade, and then I'm going to go ahead and pour that into the meat that's cooking in the Instapot on the saute function. So here I am throwing in my vegetables, which I have the yellow onion and the orange bell pepper. I'm going to throw that in on top of the meat. So now I'm going to take that marinade and I'm going to pour it over my vegetables and my beef, and I'm going to scrape out whatever I can out of the bowl. Sometimes the cornstarch will sit to the bottom of the bowl, so you just want to scrape that out. Now I'm just giving everything a good stir just to make sure everything is covered with the sauce. Now now I'm turning my saute function off, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on my Instapot and set the pressure cook for 15 minutes. Now while that's cooking, in the meantime, I'm working on my side. So I just cooked some white rice, and then I made some green beans that taste similar to the ones that you can find in the food court at the Chinese restaurant. But here it is all finished. There's a wonderful glaze that this creates. So I'm going to go ahead and just serve it up with my rice and my green beans. But you definitely can do this with chicken or even with pork too. Use the same marinade. It is so delicious, so good. Definitely give it a try. Thanks for watching.